What if everything you know is wrong?
Today, we're going to peek behind the curtain at the invisible machine that pretty much runs your digital life. Let's dive right in. Okay, first, let me ask you something, and be honest. Have you ever picked up your phone to, just check one quick thing, and then you look up, and an entire hour has just vanished? Just gone, down a rabbit hole of endless scrolling. If you're nodding your head right now, listen up, because this is super important. That is not a personal failure. It's not about you lacking willpower. It's a universal experience. And it happens because these apps are brilliantly, deliberately engineered to do exactly that. So how do they pull it off? Well, that brings us to our first deep dive, the science of the scroll. It's all about the psychological tricks they're using against us. You see, every single time you stop your thumb mid-scroll, it's almost never an accident. Your brain is reacting to really specific, data-tested psychological triggers that are designed to capture your attention and not let go. Let's look at two of the most powerful ones. First step is something called the pattern interrupt. Think about when you're scrolling. Your brain kind of goes into this zombie mode, right? Autopilot. A pattern interrupt is anything that just shatters that state. A sudden loud noise, a bizarre image, a video that starts right in the heat of the action. It snaps your brain awake and makes it go, whoa, hold on, what was that? And then, oh man, then there's the curiosity gap. This one is an art form. It's basically creating a mental itch that you just have to scratch. It's any title or hook that opens a little gap between what you know and what you desperately need to find out. We've all seen them, the one trick 99% of people miss, or the classic, you won't believe what she did next. Your brain just can't handle not knowing the answer. You have to stick around. So why are these tricks so incredibly effective? Well, because they have to be. Get this, the average human attention span is now just 8.25 seconds. That is down a crazy 25% in just the last couple of decades. With a window that tiny, these platforms need these super fast-acting hooks to grab you before you even think about looking away. So that's the how they get our attention. But that brings up a much bigger question, right? Why? Why are some of the biggest companies on the planet spending billions of dollars to become masters of our psychology? And that brings us to a really core idea. You are the product. Right now, we are all living in what's called the attention economy. Think about it. Your attention is a limited resource. There are only 24 hours in a day. So in this economy, these platforms aren't just competing with each other. No, they're competing with everything. Your hobbies, your family time, even your sleep. It is a constant, ruthless race to capture every possible second of your focus. There's this famous saying that just nails this whole business model. If you are not paying for the product, then you are not the customer. You are the product being sold. Let's just break that down for a second. The stated goal, their public mission, is always something wonderful like connecting the world or bringing people together. But their actual business model, it's to sell certainty. They gather unbelievable amounts of data on you to predict what you're going to do, and then they sell advertisers the ability to influence those predictions. The more of your attention they hold, the better their predictions get, and the more money they can charge. Okay, so we've got the psychological tricks that grab you, and we've got the business model that cashes in on it. But how does this whole thing run on a global scale for billions of people, all automatically? For that, we have to go a level deeper, inside the echo chamber. Now, I know this diagram looks pretty intense, but the idea is actually really simple. This is basically the brain of the machine. Over on the left, you've got all your data. Every click, every follow, every pause. All of that gets fed into this complex system in the middle, which sorts and ranks everything to decide exactly what you're going to see on your feed. One of the key tools inside that brain is a type of algorithm called SIM clusters. Its main job is to act like a digital sorting hat and analyzes everything you do and says, aha, this person is into the same stuff as this other group of people. And just like that, it puts you in a box with them. And here, this is a mind-blowing picture of what that sorting actually looks like. Every single one of these bubbles is a little community, an echo chamber that the algorithm has identified. You might be in the pop music bubble, or the soccer bubble, or a news bubble. The algorithm doesn't really see you as a unique individual. It sees you as a member of a cluster. Now, here's where the technology gets really clever, because it plugs directly into our own human nature. We all have this powerful psychological quirk called confirmation bias. It's just a natural shortcut our brains take. We love hearing information that confirms what we already believe, and we tend to avoid anything that challenges us. It just feels good to be right. And here's the absolute key. The algorithm knows this. It doesn't try to challenge our biases, it feeds them. By sorting us into these little echo chambers, it makes sure that we see more and more stuff that we already agree with. It's literally creating millions of tiny, personalized realities where our own views are just echoed back to us over and over again. So after hearing all that, it's easy to feel a little, well, helpless, right? But it's not all doom and gloom. The best part about understanding how the machine works is that it gives us the power to start controlling it. So let's get to the good stuff, taking back control. Here are 4 really practical things you can start doing today. First, increase friction. These apps are designed to be frictionless. So add some back in. Move those addictive apps off your home screen and into a folder. That extra swipe gives your brain a split second to ask, do I really want to do this? Second, set boundaries. Create phone-free zones or times. The dinner table's a great one. The bedroom is even better. This helps create space for your brain to disconnect. Third, identify the need. This is huge. Before you open an app, just pause for a second and ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Am I bored? Lonely? Anxious? Maybe there's a better way to solve that feeling than mindless scrolling. And finally, number 4, create if-then scenarios. This is about having a plan. Decide ahead of time. If I feel that urge to just scroll aimlessly, then I will get up and stretch for 1 minute. Having a pre-planned alternative makes it way easier to make a better choice.
Look, the goal here isn't to demonize technology or convince you to throw your phone into a river. It's about shifting from being a passive user who gets dragged around by the algorithm to being an intentional one who uses these amazing tools on your own terms. Once you understand the machine, you can absolutely learn to control it.
And that really leaves us with one final big question. This stuff isn't set in stone. It's being built and rebuilt every single day. So the real question isn't just for them, it's for us. What kind of digital world do we actually want to build together? Thanks so much for joining me.
Understanding begins with why.